Hey there, welcome back. We're going to start round two here. So we get to draw three cards. And the one reason why I like picking England. England has the worst leaders, the worst events of all time. Like the events for England, you're choosing between worse and worser. And I know that's not a word, but you know what I mean. So A and B are both bad choices usually. So like the War of the Roses, the best option is you're going to have revolts. Um, it's really poor, and you're going to lose stability. So one of the reasons for picking them, though, is they are not dependent on subjugation cards. Every player in this game is desperately waiting for their subjugation card. If you're playing against other humans, of course, the bots just subjugate without them. Poland, for example, they need subjugation for Lithuania. And they also need subjugation for Warsaw, although an event would help them get that if they're patient enough. They actually have vassals, right? So Poland has a lot of vassals. They need subjugation cards out the yin yang. Moscow, same deal. These areas are actually vassals. Like that's a vassal for a human player. The bot just controls it and owns it outright, but a human player would need a whole bunch of subjugation cards if you play as Moscow. Um, Ottomans, I think, are pretty immune to it, and but Castile desperately needs it for Aragon. In fact, Castile is not a major, if you ask me, until they get Aragon. They're actually one of the weakest in terms of tax income at the start of the game. France is very powerful. However, they also need subjugate cards as well. So, and then Austria can use subjugate for Hungary. So everybody needs subjugate cards. That's the point. And you don't need just one, you need two. You need the first one to vassalize them, and then you need the second one to annex them. Now, as long as they're in the top five of the discard pile, top seven with this current set of rules, you can, change national focus and maybe, you could do a subjugate and then pull the subjugate card right back out of the discard pile. Very doable. So you could theoretically argue that if you plan things properly, all you need is one subjugate card because you can always pull it back later. But it's never that easy. I mean, these subjugate cards are coming out. In fact, there's one right now at the top. And if we go through the deck, you can see there's a subjugate at the top, and then there's another one here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6 deep. And then, yeah, so there's two subjugate cards that are out right now. There's 6 total in the deck. Like, we actually took the time to count these because it's that important. And the deck has 24 more cards, so there's 4 out of 24 have the subjugate that's left. The beauty of England is you can just conquer. Now, here's the thing. Ireland would be nice to subjugate. Because if you subjugate them, you don't have the fear that I have of having to do a naval battle against them. If you subjugate them, you just chomp them up. The problem with Ireland is it's 3 different nations. So that's 3 different subjugate cards. So it's not kosher. It just really isn't. And it would be nice to grab them and chomp them up, but at the moment, um, I, uh, I have to wait a bit. And so the first player is going to be Spain. And then we're going to move this back and that back. So let's make sure we don't forget that. And now I got to pick my cards. So a admin card, which is I'm looking for a development card in particular. That would be the ideal thing for us. So I'd like to get an admin card. I've been trying to get a subjugate. As you can see, I've been drawing a bunch of these. I've been failing. It'd be nice to maybe get another military advisor. So I think I'm going to for sure draw one of these. So let's draw this first. Take a look at it. Exceptional Year is actually a really good card for us at this point. So I'm actually going to draw. So now the question becomes is do I draw another one? Our military advisors never got sick. So I'm going to draw one of these. And there we go. We got it. We got our subjugate. Holy cow. That was awesome. So we could subjugate Portugal, like I was trying to do in my last game. There are 3 cubes right now on here from Spain, which makes it harder. But that is something we can try to do. Or maybe we could just try to subjugate the Netherlands. Because here you can see there's a bunch, but the Netherlands actually belong to Burgundy. Except for Gelre over here in Friesland. So all of this is a part of Burgundy right now. Can't quite subjugate them in that regard. But that does open up the possibilities. Okay, so now we got our subjugate. So what do I want? Do I want another military? Because I eventually need to replace my military leader. This card here is useful, especially if we have to replenish manpower. It lets you replenish for free. Well, for the 1 cube. I'm going to try to... The next thing we need is a development card, or a growth card. So let's try to get one of those. We got another one of these, which actually is not a bad deal. So, alright, we got our cards. We have to pay our 6 ducats. So here's 5 plus 1. And we keep our cards, and let's go. Alright, Spain is first. So, they will draw a card. They do unrest or focus. There is no unrest, so they will focus. Costs 1 cube. And they're going to get 2 cubes back. Because it's politics here. And then we're going to discard an admin card. Alright, so their focus was politics, I said. That's this one. So they scored 3 points. And I already gave them their 2 cubes. So then it's to us. So we got some interesting choices. I would like to get Quest for the New World. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do Revolutionary Ideas. So this card, we're going to drop it down. We're going to pay 2 admin cubes. So 1, 2. And we get to research anything for just 2. And I'm going to spend 2 Diplo. And we're going to take Quest for the New World. And I know Spain is already there. I can't control that, so I don't get a bonus point. But Spain scores a point off of us. And then we get to score 2. Where are we buried? Holy cow, where are we? Oh. Because we're red, I blend right in. I didn't even see us here. Okay. That red is just a tad too like the color of the board. Okay, so we move that up. It seems very anticlimactic, doesn't it? But that's what we did. Now, we happen to have another one here that costs 2 cubes, but I don't have 2 cubes left. We could do a focus. I don't know if I necessarily want to do that. But we can get another revolutionary idea, or we could do an exceptional year. But the big thing we can do now is we can explore. It would have been nice to have a naval card that lets us do that, but we don't have it. But the key thing, again, is we can explore. And the explore action lets us move a ship for free. I'm going the wrong way. So let's come up here. So our Diplo actions are 15. Actually, this might be a basic action. Yeah, it's a generic action. So here, explore. You may move 1 light ship using normal rules. And that's what I want to do. I want to get 1 explore out. And we can move a light ship, and then if we ever complete this mission here, we get to gain a territory with an opponent town adjacent to one of your ships. You know what? The word opponent means another player. That doesn't work. I'm not going to be able to just take Mali or Congo or... It's an opponent town. So, like, if France was out here, I'd be able to take France's territory. So that doesn't work. All right, so it's not as useful as I thought, but it's still I'm very happy to be ready to start exploring the new world because I think the new world is our ticket to getting more towns and growth, which will give us more tax base, and that will allow us to eventually possibly take down France. So we're poised. We got all of our stuff. I do want to take out Ireland still as well. We got a lot of options. Let's keep going. Uh, Austria. They can convert or focus experience. They are actually going to convert, so this stays. They spend a cube, and they're going to score 2 points because they always do on a conversion. And let's grab a Catholic cube and look at this. They convert their area. Just like that. Now all of a sudden, there's no longer a Muslim in their area. Holy cow. Austria is just out of control. Alright, the bot, Poland. Diplomacy. 3 cubes. They are not going to do diplomacy yet. They have this, but they will eventually. And had they taken a town, their tax base would have been high enough to annex Lithuania. So what they're going to do instead is they're defending for 1 cube. This goes back on top. And they have 4 army. That's still more than enough to take this area. So they're going to plop and roll. And they defeat the rebels. Okay, Moscow. Military. So they're going to start the game right. Start the round right. So who are they going to go against now? They have a claim here. So let's roll to see if they take the claim. And they do. So they're going to declare war in this area. They're allied with Ryazan, so it's got to be Tver. Or however you pronounce that. And here they go. They are currently at war. And since their army will move in. Let's make sure, yep, they don't need to do a recruit. They're going to roll 1 die. That is not the die. So they lose 1 unit. And it looks like they're going to get another town. Denmark. Convert or focus politics. They have nothing to convert. So they will focus politics. And they're going to get 2 cubes for this. So they're rolling in the cubes for sure. And where's their... Oh, this one. So now they're going to grab the political one, which is this one. And so they're going to gain 1 point. And I already gave them their 2 cubes. Okay, now we move to the Mamluks. Unrest or focus? I think they're going to focus. They do. They're going to focus experience. So they're going to gain 2 cubes. That card gets lost. This goes away. This should not be here. Alright, so we said it was politics. If you don't zoom out, it scrolls a lot slower. Alright, so the politics one is this one. So another 1 point is scored. They look like they're one of these. Alright, they are done. Venice. Diplomacy. They got some interesting choices here. They have an alliance with Albania. And they have 2 cubes, but the alliance happens first. And they have tax base equal to there, but they don't have a cube. So let's see what happens. I think they're just going to add 2 cubes and then check for a marriage. So you have an alliance. They have double the tax base. They don't have a cube. So they're going to add 2 cubes. There's no alliance possible. And then if they roll a 3 to a 6, they get a marriage. So let's go ahead and roll for them. So they get a marriage and 2 cubes. So 1, 2. And that is not a marriage. Where did that come from? We'll just do it like that. We'll stagger them to show that there's two. Now, my son likes to stack them up, but unless you're looking at it like this, you can't tell that there's a stack there. It really drives me nuts. So we get into heated arguments over how to handle components in this game. And we play it both the physical and this. So we do both. We actually like the physical more, but it requires a lot of table space. I still have my Frosthaven set up, so we're taking up our kitchen table, and then the other people in our house don't like it, so we sometimes play it here. And of course, if you want to play with the extra butts like we've been doing, you got to do that here. Okay, so Venice, it was a good move. I mean, they're closer to annexing, and Austria has something that they should have done. So I did Austria wrong. They should not have done this, but we'll fix that next round. My apologies there. Their army is way far away, but they should be able to come back. They did lose their ship, though, but they'll be able to add it. So my apologies. Austria should not have taken whatever they took, which I think is this one. Okay, Venice is done. Now we go to the Ottomans, and let's not make that same mistake. They have a lot to do, Scooby-Doo. They will spend 1 for defend action. They will spend 2 to recruit. And their army will come out, and they will take this spot first. There are 2 rebels here. They do no damage, and they get wiped out. Poland, yeah, we actually did theirs correctly. Okay, next we go to France. They are going to take an idea. I'm going to roll 2 dice for them. Same nomenclature. This is the middle, and this is 5 up. So the middle is here, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're going to take mercantilism and score 2 points. Done. Okay, we're back to Castile. They will do diplomacy. This is getting dangerous. They are going to now flirt with Portugal. They don't have enough cubes on Portugal. They have an alliance, so it's just like the other one. They're going to get 2 more cubes. They can't put it here, so they got to put it here now. They get 2 more cubes, and they're going to roll for a possible marriage, which they get. So now they have a marriage with Portugal as well. So Portugal is just a floozy with all of us. Okay, we got a lot of options now. We can explore the New World, which I'm very excited to do. I could also try to trade to get my ducats up. If I explore the New World, the trade is going to show up out here. So I think the explore should happen first. And then we want to invade. I need 30 ducats to complete my missions. I'm at 15. So I don't want to go into debt if I can avoid it. So I am going to do an explorer, which is going to cost me 1 explorer, or 1 diplo, and 1 mill. And let's do an explore action. So I'm going to take one of my ships. These 2 are not really doing anything for me other than boosting Bordeaux. So I'm going to take this ship, and I can choose to go to the B, which is either the northwestern Atlantic or the Caribbean Sea. Or I can choose to go 1, because you get to move 2 spaces. I could go here and then go C down here into the Africa area. They're both good. The idea of going to Africa and not to North America is because I want, more lucrative stuff that's in India and the Far East. Also, England does have quests that cause them to go there. But I'm actually going to go to America. So now I got to decide A, B, or C. I can go to any of these. If I go to C, I have to roll a die. A 1 or a 2 will give me a claim. A 3 is too far away. I can't do 3. I got to go into a port first. If I go into the Caribbean, it's the same deal, 1 or a 2. But if I go into the Northwest, up here, I actually have 1, 2, and 3 all available. So I'm guaranteed to get a claim. Now, you can see here there's spots for 3 trade ships in the Caribbean and only 2 up north, and that is a factor. But right now, I'm the only one here. I guarantee you, though, that Castile is going to start competing with us, and they're going to come here first. So another strategy is we could go here and beat them to it and take one of these before they get a chance. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the Caribbean and try to beat them. So we get to, like I said, we get to move our ship for free. So I moved one of the Eastern Atlantic. And then we get to roll. Let's come over to our area. We get to roll this die here. And we don't want the skull. And we rolled a 1, which is perfect. So now we get to take one of our little tags. And we get to explore any of these areas with numbers on it that's in the sea zone, if you will. And so the only one is Antilles. So we're going to go ahead and plop it right there. And we do have some, let's see, settle in America. Own towns in 2 of New England, Virginia, Hudson Bay, Canada, or Antilles. So we claimed one of the spots. Now we don't have a town yet, but we claimed a spot, which is good. A claim looks like this. That's a town. So this is fantastic. We're on an excellent start. And just because it's been forever since I've done this action, so we would have had to pay an extra cube if there was a skull. So we get to discover a territory. And place a claim on a discovered area. And you could re-roll 2 times. But it costs you a cube to do a re-roll. When the first area is discovered, we have to put trade cards in. So that's the this part here. So let's search this. The number, by the way, is right here, that blue 1. And you can see this is a green 2, a red 3. So we need the blue 1s. Like, for example, that's 1. There's another one. Another. So there's 3 of them. There's probably a whole bunch more that are in this deck that I need to remove still. Like, that needs to be removed. Because we never took out the stuff that was supposed to be taken out. Like, there's 2 1s. Those should have been added. So there's like a 4 that needs to be taken out. This one goes. This one goes. Oh, that one's a 1. See, there's a lot of 1s that get added. So my attitude is we were just going to remove them as we drew them, but yeah, we just took some time. Alright, so all the cards, including the discard, get added, and now it's shuffled. We got a brand new deck with all of North America now available. So I can now trade in North America. Sometimes you can trade as long as you have a claim, or other times you need a colony. It depends on what the card says. But the important thing is I can now trade here, and even if I move my merchant there, that counts as 2 trade power minimum. So, and if I can get other ships there, like this one, then that counts as 3 trade power, and I'm eventually going to want to get these out there too. So lots of stuff to do. Alright, so I know that was long-winded, but that was our turn. Still don't score any points, but it is what it is. Now we go to Austria, and I got to retcon that last action. So we're just doing a little bit out of order, and yes, they want to do a move, and they can't get there, so they will place a ship, because they get to do that. So they will place a ship for free, and now they have a pathway to get back to here, and that's it. So it's just a defend action. They don't actually get to do anything additional. Alright, 1 second. Okay. I had to take a call. My apologies there. Alright, so we retconned it. They did a defend action to move here, and then they'll have to do another siege. So their turns are going to be consumed a bit here. This should not have happened as early as it did, but that's okay. We're not going to worry about it. Poland is going to siege. Done. Then we go to Moscow, who's at war. So they are also going to siege, but for different reasons. So they now occupy that. Denmark. Diplomacy. 1, 2, and 3 are spent. Their diplomacy, of course, is going to go to Sweden now. They already have the marriage and the alliance. So it's as simple as, is their tax value high enough? So we can look real quick here. They have a tax of 13. That should be high enough because Sweden is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. So they just need to be equal or greater than, which they are. But they need 7 cubes, and you can see here they only have 3. But they are going to get to add 4 right now because they already have a marriage. So they're going to just plop 4 more cubes, and now they got enough to annex Sweden, and Denmark is going to become very powerful. I can assure you the human player does not have it that easy. But the bots, it must be good to be the bot. Alright, Mamluks. They never do Papalcuria, so they're going to spy. It's going to cost them 2 cubes. They're not at war with anybody. So they're going to roll a die. A 1, 2, 3 is whoever's leading the game, score-wise, which is Austria. So they're going to cause 2 unrest for Austria. They're going to pick highest tax. This is a 4, and that's also a 4. So where would they pick? Great question. I think they would pick... Well, this begins with an A. So this also begins with an A. Aden versus Austria. So this AU is sooner. So they're going to flippity flip 2 over here. Actually, no. They already have 3. The spy action causes them to roll rebel dice. This actually is deadly. Oh, what a brilliant move. We actually want the same for here. Yes, that's right. So 1, 2, 3 unrest for them. And then there's a 4th unrest over here. So they're going to roll rebel dice. That's what they're going to do. Force them to roll rebel dice. So they roll 4. And Austria is doing nothing but losing a cube. They got so lucky. 1 revolution is all it would have taken to... Alright. I need that spy action to hit France. Oh, we forgot to do the event cards, but let's take Venice's turn first, and then we'll do that. So Venice is sitting. They're okay. So we're gonna draw a card for Venice. Another diplomacy. So 2 cubes. Diplo card gone, and this is an easy peasy one now. They're annexing. So the marriage and the alliance, and they grab a town. They're growing quite nicely. So now they annexed Albania, and they do have to spend a cube because it matches the tax base. So 1 cube goes away as well. So not bad, not bad at all. And they score 3 points when they annex diplomatically. So 1, 2, 3. All right, before we do Ottoman's turn, we have these guys. So here's the first card. 1. Comet sighted. Never a fun one. Plague. There's the Denmark one. So look at this. All kinds of sickness coming onto our advisors. We're not surviving this one. We got pluses and squares. So we're for sure getting sick after these first set. And then there's still 7 more. And one of them is for sure ours. We know that. Because the War of the Roses is buried in there somewhere. And so is the end of the 100 Years' War, which is an interesting one. In fact, I want to look at them real quick. Which I know I'm going to have to reshuffle these, but we know they're in here. So end of the 100 Years' War. If we choose B. See, we don't have Maine anymore. We would have gained a stability. So that hurts. And then the War of the Roses, as you can see, A scores us some points. But we would at least get some cubes. We lose some manpower. Or B, I lose the stability. So I don't want to lose the stability is the key thing here. The 100 Years' War, I would have loved for somebody to pick B, but we need to have Maine. If we don't have Maine, if not, they both gain 1 and lose the stability, and any truce between them ends. So by not having Maine, I lose that stability. That sucks. I need this back. I can't declare war on them. We have a truce, so it's not like I can do it that way. The only thing I can hope for is that somebody rolls rebel dice somewhere along the way. And right here is rebel dice, so I need somebody to choose that event before France does anything to remove unrest. So I'm just praying for somebody to take this card. Now, could we do it? Yes. But then the problem is that the War of the Roses is going to come up and we're going to lose the stability that way. And so we got to take our own card to prevent the stability loss. So it's a tricky tight walk. Now, I could choose an area adjacent to your realm. All players there lose the stability. The A, of course, is what the bots will choose. All players lose the stability. No matter what, losing the stability is in my future. It's really hard to get out of this without losing stability. All right, let's go to the Ottomans. They have to siege. So they got 1 down. That's going to cost them 2 cubes because that was a large city. Now we go to France. They are getting low on cubes already. They're not at war with anybody. They're going to convert or focus. They're going to focus war. So this comes over. They focus war. Yeah, nothing else. There's nothing for them to convert. There's no foreign anything. Spain. They're going to do unrest or spy. They have no unrest, so they will spy. If they would have, because I don't know if this is 19 income, but they rolled a 2, which means they're spying on Austria. That makes Austria roll their rebel dice again. So 1, 2, 3, 4 rebel dice for Austria. They lose another cube. Okay. I did not spend their 2 cubes for this action. Now it's to us. We are running out of turns. I think people are going to start passing and stuff soon, but I still think we're going to accomplish most of the things we want to do. We've already done our explore, which is fantastic. I want to do a trade now. So the trade's going to let me move a ship and do all that good stuff. So I want to get one for North America so I can get my merchant out there. So here's the first one. Second one, and none of them are North America so far. There's one. So we got the English Channel, which is actually a good one. We have London and Wessex. So we do have 2 of them. And with all of our ships, we're easily at 6 or more. That would get us 7 ducats. But look at the tobacco here. I just need 1 in Antilles, which I have. And this says it could be a town, a vassal, or a claim, right? So that's all I need. And I have Antilles, so that counts towards it. I get to move a ship out there and a merchant. So I'm going to have 2 ships plus a merchant. That's 3. And then Antilles makes it a 4. I'm going to get 10 ducats for choosing this one. It's way more profitable. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. And that sets me up to have my merchant out here. And it lets me set up another ship out here. So I'm going to put it... I'm actually going to put it on A. Because as long as it's next to here, and now I can explore either North America or Caribbean. So there's my 3 power, and then this is a 4th, and that gives me 10 ducats, and that's beautiful sight to see. That puts me up to 25. Fantastic. And I could still see the English Channel has the pirates, so I would have actually had to go down a level. So I would have made a lot less money. So this is working out great. They can leave the pirates there. Okay, Austria is sieging. So they finally have that resolved. And you can see they're going to start passing soon. Poland will draw a card. They're going to draw their diplomacy. And this is the part where they're stuck. Lithuania is going to have enough cubes on it, and they're going to keep in this infinite loop of adding cubes. Here I'll show you. They have this situation. They don't have a higher tax. They have equal. Exactly equal. So, actually it goes down. Never mind. Then, do they have an alliance? Yep. They don't have double. Do they have 2 cubes? Yes. Is an alliance possible? No. Any free space? Yes, they're going to keep adding cubes. And then alliance is not possible. Marriage is not possible, so they're going to add 2 more cubes. So you see that? They drop down to here, and then they end up just adding 4 cubes. So 1, 2, 3, 4 gets added, and we'll just plop them here. They got more cubes than they know what to do with there. They need to go to war and actually conquer something. Then they can absorb Lithuania, no problem. Moscow. Their war is over, so we're going to draw a card for them. They can convert or Papalcuria. Neither of those help them. There's nothing to convert. Oh no, they got Orthodox right here. See this? Oh no, they are Orthodox. Never mind. There's nothing for them to convert. Where's the religion for this area? Oh, right there. Yep, no conversion needed. So then Papalcuria, they're not in. They technically are at war, but we've gone on this path. Since there's nothing for them to conquer, this military action does nothing for them. So when they can't do anything, they're going to spend 2 cubes and just score 2 points. That's the card we're looking for right there. Development. So they'll just score 2 points, which they need. They're in last place. Well, actually, Ottomans are. Okay, the Dutch have 1,000,000 cubes left. They're going to convert and focus. So they're definitely not converting, so they will spend 1 cube and focus on expansion. And of course, this goes away. Now we go to Lithuania. That's not Lithuania. We see my son and I played. This color was Lithuania. This is the Mamelukes. They're going to war again. Alright, so who are they going to go to war with? This is a great question. They don't have any claims out, so we're going to roll. And I'm going to get this opened. So I rolled a 5. Kurdistan. They've taken all of Kurdistan, haven't they? Nope. They got one more. I think I might have removed their claim prematurely because they didn't control the whole area. So my apologies if I did that. Their claim goes here. So yeah, they're going to war against Iraq here, which is very powerful because these are all adjacent, and then you got to factor in. Let's see, Iraq doesn't have any of these. Okay. So they will spend 1 to recruit their army, which is formidable. And they're going to need it, because now they don't have to do any movement. They're already there. Technically they weren't, but now they're going to be there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This army's gone, by the way. So you saw that, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 armies are going to attack them. So 7. Oh my gosh. 1 hit. Just 1 hit. They are so lucky. There should have at least been 3 or 4. That was crazy. Okay, I also forgot to put the war token out. So we'll put the war on their capital. And yeah, they got a lot to do here. Alright, that brings us to the Ottomans, who currently have more cubes spent, but they can't do anything about it yet. They're going to do a defend action and move to here, and they go to war. They lose a unit, and now we're on France. Alright, so now we're on France's turn. They have spent more cubes than they have, so I think they're going to grab an event, and let's hope they grab the event that leads to their own demise here. So let's roll. Come on, roll 1. They rolled a 2. Oh, you jerk. So they're taking this event here, the plague. Oh, that's not good. That's actually going to hurt us. Okay, so we know how the plague works. There's no money on it, so it's going to pick 2 areas. The Cardinal's going to die. And they pick ours, so they're just picking on us in general. So the way the plague works is they pick an area that they have and an area adjacent, and the town shrinks. So our Aquitaine town is no longer large. it gets reduced to small, and it'll only generate a half ducat, which it rounds up, so it's not worth keeping track of. If there was any armies there, they would have lost half their armies, and yeah, it stinks that they chose it. They also put out a pirate. So it's going to be in location 4. So again, I like to go counterclockwise. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And pluses get sick. So that's definitely going to be one of ours. I think it's this one. We have a square, square. Here it is, plus. The squares are going to, and a circle hurts us. Alright, so that was their turn. Not happy about that. I was hoping they would have caused their own demise. But the good news is they don't have an army there. Their army is actually off the map at the moment. They leave the map if their area they're in is at peace, which is the case here. And there's no unrest. Okay, Castile, same boat. They're not at war. So they're actually going to grab an event as well. So there's going to be a big run on these events here coming. So we're going to roll. They're going to do an opponent's event, which there's 2 opponents. So I think they're always going to pick the leftmost one. So they're going to do the death of Adolf, which still doesn't help us. So money's come out. They do get a cube for that. Alright, so death of Adolf. They're going to choose B. Denmark may replace their vassals with a town and must remove their vassal, if any, from Holstein. And you gain 1 cube. So here's the interesting part about this. There's no such thing as a vassal for them. They put towns. But my interpretation of this is that even though the bots count every vassal as a town, this is still considered a vassal to them. And so they lose the Holstein vassal. So therefore they're going to lose the town. So they basically screwed Denmark out of some serious income there. And that's fine. Denmark is in great shape still. But yeah, they lose Holstein. I actually think it's going to be fun to play as them sometime. Okay, so now it's our turn. And what were we planning on doing? We are very close to being able to afford our 3 heavy ships. 3 heavy ships is going to cost us $30. So I could go into debt 1 time to do that. And in fact, I'm going to do exactly that. I'm going to spend 1 cube to do a recruit action. And we're going to get 1, 2, 3 ships. And they're all going to be heavy. So we're going to form our navy. And I'm going to put it here in the English Channel. So it will cost another action to take out the pirate. But in doing so, I will be losing 10, 20, and then 5. And I have to take a loan, which will cost me 6 to pay back. And we're at dead zero. But that lets me complete 2 quests. The Admiralty, I have 2 heavy ships and 4 light ships. So I'm going to gain 2 cubes and hire an advisor or admiral for free from my hand. This subjugate has an awesome advisor on it. I don't know if I want to get rid of a subjugate card for that reason, but gosh darn it. I could play him for free. I don't think I want to. I think I'm going to pass on that. I will take the 2 Diplo cubes though. Alright, so that's done. And then here, have more heavy ships than any opponent. Minimum of 3. Have light ships adjacent to 5 or more maritime trade nodes. Oh, I have to be adjacent to 5 nodes. So this is 1, 2, I could have had one here for 3. This is 4. I don't have that achieved yet. I get to be next to 5 trade nodes. I did not catch that part. So I'm not quite there on that one.
There's a good sword for
And I'm going to grab the one for forming Great Britain. I think that's the next one I want to do. By completing this, it unlocked 2B, which I think is already out here.
Tell me if you...
Yep.
Oh.
The Maritime Empire was the next one in the path here. So I only gained 1 point for the Admiralty. So all that work was just for 1 point. I do have the heavy ships though in place to do this and to take Ireland. So I'm okay. I'm not doing great, but I'm okay.
No, not yet.
This subjugate action would be nice, but Portugal was a problem. Look at this. They got 2 cubes down here as well. I am not going to be able to subjugate Portugal easily. So, again, I have to find something else to subjugate, or I'm just going to use it for as an advisor, which seems like blasphemy to me, but I may end up doing that.
You want to give me that?
And apologies, I got somebody playing another game behind me here. You're going to hear them. That's my son. Okay, so we go to Austria. They spent their whole turn taking things down and doing that one focus. They have spent more than they have. And I don't know where all the cubes went, because I know they spent more than 3 cubes. Not sure what I did there. Oh, that's right. They only spent 3 cubes, but they lost cubes because of unrest and stuff. So they're going to grab an event.
Yeah, the mummies take a bunch.
So we got another event coming out. Come on, roll 1 already. They're going to do an opponent's event, which is the French one. So the French event happens now.
Okay, well, I guess if you want to put it down now.
Okay, so they will pick Surrender of Maine, and this is going to hurt me. I needed them to pick the rebels first. So I may cede Maine to France, and if I do, I gain a stability, but I don't.
Yeah, give him that.
They both gain a military cube and lose a stability, and then they gain 1 cube.
Who wants to get out?
So thanks, Austria.
Here, wait. If you're gonna leave.
So I lose a stability. That hurts a lot. And then France gains an unrest. It's going to be their lowest
I'm not gonna lie.
tax area, which are these 2. So it'll be that one.
If you can.
That hurt. We do both gain
If I gave you too much
a
stuff,
military cube, though.
I'll give you some stuff back.
So I at least gain 1 of those, and so does France,
Yeah.
which will go here.
Alright, let's go.
Alright, now we go to Poland. They have spent more cubes than they have, so they are also going to take an event.
There's a bunch of archers in here.
So a big run on events right now. They rolled a 6, which means they're going to take their own.
This is stronger.
And since they can't, they're going to now take the one that I've been begging them to take. But it's too little too late now.
Michael. Oh, bandage.
Alright, so let's do the square first.
Yeah, I don't.
Our squares get sick.
Oh, there's a dead guy down here.
There's a square there. And a square there.
Bow. Ooh, that's.
So then we come back. They are going to choose option A. And this is
It's a shitty long.
Poland. All players lose a stability. And they're going to gain 2 cubes. And can discard 3 milestones.
Good stuff.
So
Yeah.
they get 2 cubes. And we all lose a stability. So now I go to here.
Those guys.
And then everybody gets unrest. So France is going to get another one. Spain gets one.
What?
And I've been costing Spain. They have a town here. So they should have. Thankfully, that's not an extra manpower for them, so they're okay. But they get an unrest, and it's going to be there.
Those guys up here.
Austria gets an unrest, which will be here. We did France. Venice is going to get one, which will be here.
Well, those guys behind us. Behind us.
We did Austria. Poland. There. The Ottomans, who have no shortage of unrest so far. There. I didn't. Okay.
Oh, there's a portal.
And then the Mamluks finally get one, which will be here. Denmark finally gets one.
Retro, you sure? Okay.
There.
Sorry, Retro. You're gonna die. They're right there.
And Moscow gets one.
Turn around and stab him. You'll win. Just dodge all of his attacks.
That's 4, that's 6. It's going to be one of these. So we'll do that one.
Okay,
And then I want to check something. When Denmark annexed, they now own all provinces in a new area. If able, spend a cube to place a core in such an area. Right, so Denmark, I'm going to spend one of their cubes, and basically they get a core. Didn't mean to put that in there. They get a core here. Oh, I already did that. I'm sorry. The reason I'm asking is because this could revolt, and that could actually go back to Norway. The core is only for the main area, not for the surrounding. Okay, I will take the cube back. That was Poland.
Freaking Felax.
Poland stinks. So then, as soon as all that happens, now everybody's going to be rolling for unrest. Oh, we get one too.
No, it's all for South.
And I'm actually going to pick.
Do I want to get this war ball?
I'm going to pick down here in Bordeaux.
War balls are not good, but it does so much damage.
I'm basically, I think, accepting the fact that I'm getting bumped out of France at this point. But let's see what happens. Let's start with the Ottomans in front of us.
Oh, sure.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dice are going to get rolled.
Alright, I'm ready.
They're only going to lose a cube. France is going to roll 5, I believe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. They max out at 5. Come on, get a revolution. Of course. They get 2 restores. And they lose a cube. Jerks. Well, the restores actually, ironically, are going to go here first. And then, yeah, it's going to be alphabetical order, so it'll be that one. So it didn't happen. Castile has 1. They lose a cube. Okay, we have 1. We lose 2 ducats. So I have to go into debt again. That hurt. Austria has 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they're going to roll 5. They lose a cube.
Hey guys.
And one of them actually flips
War
back.
ball does a bunch of damage, but it's not.
And what's crazy is it's going to be one of these, because this is the highest tax area for them.
It's Warmall. It's a
HIJK, that one.
That's why I was like, yeah, but
Poland
I have to
has
hit.
two.
It's really hard to hit with a Warmall.
Poland loses a cube. Muscovy has 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I know. It's not. Oh, there's a wizard right there.
A rebellion and a cube.
No, right there, right there.
Alright, so where's the rebellion going to be? It's going to be in the lowest tax area, which is actually going to be here.
Yes.
So on one of those,
Yeah, but
Denmark
no, this Warmall's
has 1.
Warmall's great for mobs, but if I'm against a player,
Denmark is going to lose a cube.
beat my butt.
The Mamluks, I forgot to give them one. No, I did. They roll 1.
We need to kill this thing.
The Mamluks are just like
Kill it.
the this golden standard of peace and stability. Okay, now we got
I'm running at it.
Venice. Did I remember to flip one for them? I did not.
I'm running at it. Okay.
I don't think I did.
hate you. Wait,
So, no, I did. I did Brescia here. So 1, 2, 3, 4 for Venice.
No, yeah.
They lose a cube
Yeah,
and
just
restore 1. So which one do they restore? This is 3 tax base here.
There's another mage.
Yeah, it's going to be this one.
Yeah, there's always a secret room in this room.
And we're back to the Ottomans. So that's full turn. That was
there's a bunch of loot here.
Poland that picked that.
Holy cow.
So now we
I
go
have 3
to
campfires.
Moscow. They have to defend. So they're going to move up here, do a battle.
I just killed this mage before he could even do anything.
Dead. They gain a cube for winning the battle. Denmark. And there it is. 2 diplomacy cubes. One of these goes,
They can't get me.
and they're going to annex all of this.
Haha.
So let's get this out of the way.
No, protection. Protection, not swiftness.
Alliance,
Yeah.
marriage, gone.
Sure, that's what I do.
They lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have exactly 7 cubes.
Oh,
Denmark is turning into a beast.
damn, I just got a ring.
So 2 towns
Retro, where did you
plus
get in
3
the thing?
more.
I have a lockpick. I can pick the chest. It's not there. No, there's a book.
So we got
There it is.
1, 2,
Found it.
3, 4, 5, and then we have 2 more. Yeah, look at them. They're out of control right now.
Okay, I have to jump across this.
So they brought it all together, and then they will spend an additional cube to put a core out, and it's going to be on the capital, which is here. So one of those tokens is coming back, and they score 3 points. Their biggest score, though, is they now have 10 armies. They're doing fantastic. Okay. They still get to do 1 more action. They're going to do an idea. And we're going to roll 2 dice. A 5 and a 4.
Wait, who has this trap?
So that means it's going to be a military idea. So military 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be this one for 2. Now I just realized I forgot something. When Poland did the comet, they get to replace 3 of these. So I'm going to roll a die. And 1, 2, 3, 4 means these get replaced. And then a 5, 6, a 5 and a 6 is going to use a second die to determine which of these get replaced. So this is going to be the 1, 2, 3, 4, or the 5 and 6. If they roll a 5 and a 6, these 2 dice will determine which one gets replaced from the ideas.
Wait. Oh.
Okay? Got to do it 3 times.
Yeah.
So here's the 5, and they're going 5 and 5. So that means here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're replacing this one, which hurts us. We like that one. So let's do it again.
You should not be pushing first.
So now they're going to replace
What the heck?
the 2 here.
Okay, he's running. There's so many dead bodies though.
Oh, look at this. I completed this. So before it goes away,
Actually, you killed him?
before it goes away, we actually completed this. So we scored 3 points. And
No, you can't.
2 Diplo cubes, which is awesome. But now what they're saying is they're going to make this go away. So this gets discarded and a new one comes out.
Okay, wait. You want to give me that?
And no, they don't go back on. It's now available for another go, if you will. Okay, so
That's why you should
one
not
more.
be that far away from us.
Again, they're 5, and then they're going to do 4 and 1, which a 4 is the middle.
Ring of quickness.
And they can't get rid of Quest for the New World. So we're going to count this as the 1. So
Oh, is that what
cabinet
you dropped?
cabinet goes away.
Well, maybe
And now they got benign diplomats. So the tertios is one of the most used ones by me, because being able to get 2 hits is awesome. Now you can't ever get more hits than you have units, but still, it's a good one, because you always roll horrible, right? So it's compensating.
Holy cow, that ring of
But you can survive without it. Okay, that was Poland's turn with the event that they did. That's the whole point of making everybody lose a stability. So now we're done with the Mamluks. We go to Venice, not Venice.
Yeah, I know.
They
That's why I was like, did I even pick it up?
still get to draw a card. And they're going to get rid of Unrest for sure. And so,
Portal.
which 2 Unrest will they do? They'll do these 2. They got 1 more to deal with.
Can I leave, or do you want to leave?
Okay, so they're done.
Okay.
Now we go to the Ottomans, who still have 1 cube left, and they will spend their last cube. They spent their whole turn basically dealing with rebels.
Disrespectful. I saw you
Then
try.
we go to France.
Just.
They have
stick
3.
to the edge of the
They spent
circle.
4,
That's where they spawn usually.
and they are going to pass.
No, I had full inventory.
And now they get 2 cubes.
That's the guy who killed him.
And we already know that this is going to go back.
Those are both rogues.
So here, Castile is going to pass. So they also get 2 cubes.
You need like a sword, bro.
And then we go to us. So what are we going to do? We all of a sudden
you hit him
have a
so
whole bunch of
many
cubes.
times. That dude must be so.
So we could actually take one of these ideas, like free trade that lets us get a 3rd merchant. We do need it. It is something we can try to grab, and that'll prevent them from being able to replace it. We could declare war on Ireland, and now that we have our navy that we would move here, that would allow us to take care of business. And in fact, I would probably do this and move the navy here, since our unit is here in Scotland. And you know what? When we created our navy, we could have just deployed it right here anyways. So boom, there's the navy. So I don't need to do a movement there. Declaring war on Ireland actually will work.
Dude, I can't get a felling axe.
And we need the extra income, Because as you can see, we're in debt, and being able to place some more towns out, 3 of them in fact, is going to help us. We will be able to get a cube because we'll be able to focus. As far as these cubes go,
What bow are you using? That's the issue.
the free trade is nice, but I don't need it right now. The other thing is, I could use it to try to get Portugal away from them. But man, oh man, I gotta have 5 cubes just to overcome
They're
them.
slower and they take longer to shoot.
Okay,
That's the trade-off.
I don't have a strong army. In fact, I only have 2. And I have 3 of them here, so declaring the war
He's basically gambling.
is an issue
You can either get
for us.
something really, really good or something really. I mean,
I can't do this, I can't do that.
Why not? You know?
We know the War of the Roses is still coming,
So you got a high roll.
so we're gonna have to deal with all that. I don't have money, so I can't recruit. So declaring war on Ireland is not feasible right now.
That's really good then.
So what I would do then is the whole reason I deployed this here was so I could take out that ship. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a naval move, and then we're going to do battle against this ship. I absorb hits with all 3 of my heavy ships. They automatically do a hit, so I don't need to roll. But it would have just been 3 cannon dice each. And yeah, we destroy the pirate. I don't think that was an exciting thing to do, but it needed to be done. Okay, they're going to try to pass. So Austria will pass and take a cube. Then we go to Poland.
Yeah, it should be top right.
Poland will try to pass. And they do. What, it's like all 4 of them. So they get a cube. Then we go to Moscow. They're going to spend a cube because they need to siege. Then we have this guy here. They have spent more cubes than they have. So they're going to try to do an event now. Yep. So we got our next run on the events coming. So this is a 5, which means they're going to try to do their own. And they can't, so they're just going to grab the leftmost one. So they're going to grab disloyal allies. What an interesting one to grab. Okay, so this one, triangles get sick. Let's take care of that right away. We have no triangles, so good news there. And all players with at least 1 alliance must remove 3 cubes from the realm of their strongest ally. If unable to remove 3, the alliance is terminated. If this was an active ally in a war, they lose half of their allied units and place a casus belli. Okay, who drew this? This is the Dutch.
How can you tell?
So we have an alliance with Portugal, which, by the way, they never answered the call to arms because they're not next to who I'm declaring war. But we lose 3 cubes, and I'm unable to lose 3. So I think that means I lose the alliance, right? I do. So I lose the alliance. Portugal thing's not working out for us. But for Spain, they also lose 3.
I don't know how that works. I think so. Because
And
there's no indication
let's
that
just check real
Portugal's
quick.
subject to
The subjugate card
change or something like that.
lets you vassalize your ally. So see that? I need them to be an ally, or otherwise I can't vassalize them. So this is becoming not very helpful. So, okay, that was Castile. France is going to lose 3
I'll just step up and just.
because they have an alliance with Provence. Venice I don't think they have any alliances
Did you get
anymore.
pants?
They used to have some, but they don't now. Hungary, nope. Austria doesn't have anything.
I think it's depending
Ottomans
on
and
your
Mamluks don't.
because
Uh,
like it's not full armor protection, but it's
3 cubes
some
for Poland goes away,
pants. I get this much protection. There's a bug.
and it would have hurt Denmark, but they waited until after they annexed, so I guess that was good for them. All right, and then so just in case you were wondering, these little X's mean they could be in the first half or the second half, and the second half cards, so like this one here, should be in the first half because we're in the first half cards. So all the cards that are in here should have a 1 on them. So see how that has a 1?
Oh wait, there's player
1
chat?
X.
Wait.
So if you built your deck correctly, it should be nothing but 1s and X's, which I am taking pride in.
How do I?
So if you're ever building your own deck and you're trying to wonder, like,
Hey, can you hear
you
me?
know, those 56B, like which one do they go in? All you have to do is look at this X here or the 1. The X means it doesn't matter. And like I was saying, this is for natives, which it's unrest for the natives. So technically speaking, that's an unrest for the Mamluks, because that is a native province, or up here. But they would choose this one instead, because that's their large city. Okay. All right. So that was Denmark. Now we go to the Mamluks, who are going to try to pass.
Hey, you.
So they're going to grab an event.
You want to step back? I beat you up.
Denmark would have gained a cube, by the way, because they had money on theirs.
This rift is holding this.
So they rolled a 3, which
You jump,
means
you jump,
they're taking this one.
you jump.
Or no, they're taking the rightmost. And this is,
Yeah.
oh, they're taking their own, which is funny. Okay, so they get their own. There's ours. And since they took their own, money goes on the other ones. Okay, so they're going to affirm authority in the north. So Mamluks gain a claim in Karaman or Kurdistan, or an alliance with an NPR that has their capital in one of those areas. They gain a cube.
No, you got close to
So
them.
they gain a
You
cube.
get too close. Like you were like on top of them. Oh, there's other guys.
They already have an alliance in Karaman.
Suggest that.
They're at war with these guys. Yeah, they had less than 4 cubes. They weren't supposed to do an event yet. They were supposed to siege.
I do so much damage. What the heck?
They were supposed to siege that guy right there. So my apologies.
Yeah, I'm putting the count.
Let's retcon this.
Can you put this count down? Actually, I'm so slow at putting it down.
And
It's so extremely slow.
money comes off. Ours is not out yet. Now we know it's coming, but that's okay.
Oh my
Alright,
God, this
so-
guy has so much loot.
That's the way it looks. So they finish their turn. Now we go to Venice, who I don't think is at war or anything.
What?
So yeah, Venice has more spent than they have. So they're going to try to pass.
It's fine.
Now you could argue that Venice rolled that 6. And I'm okay with that. Or they rolled the 3.
Yeah.
Which means Venice would have taken this one.
Some health? Do you need some health?
And then,
Oh,
yeah, the money comes out now. So that means Venice is choosing B. The Mamluks lose 2 cubes and 2
Oh, there's
points.
a guy over there.
So 2 cubes. And I don't know where they are. Here they are. They lose 2 points.
Hey.
They may offer an alliance to the Ottomans. If accepted, both gain 1. They always accept, but I'm not going to bother putting the tokens out because they're both too large. So the alliance won't, between 2 bots, are not going to hold. But I will give them both their 1 cube.
I gotta turn this off.
And then that's it
I gotta look at
for them.
push to talk mute.
Okay, so after they finish their turn, or I'm sorry, Venice finished their turn, now we go to the Ottomans, who I believe passed.
Oh, there's this gold crown. You can have all that. I'm
The
stacked.
Ottomans have not
Don't feel like
passed.
I'm
They
really
need
stacked.
to do an event. So a 6 means they're going to take their own, or they're going to take the leftmost. So they're going to gain a cube.
Yeah, I do agree.
I do need money on mine, because I'm hurting.
This is like,
I'm hurting for certain.
I don't think there's like the biggest issue with that though, because like half the players
Alright,
die.
so let's not forget to put their cube in, because they had money on it.
We literally killed half the lobby.
So they lose a cube and gain a cube. Don't worry about that. They always choose a ally with the Tatars. You may gain an alliance with either Crimea or the Great Horde if you have cubes in the area. Crimea has no cubes. Great Horde has no cubes. So they get nothing for this. So they're going to just gain a cube. And then attrition happens. So the Mamluks, for example, are at war. So they're going to lose 1 for every 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1. It's always rounded up, folks. Who else is at war?
Oh, there's a thing. I heard it.
They're the only ones. Just the Mamluks.
Oh, you can leave. You can leave. I left last time.
Okay,
Yeah.
so that's the end.
It's in there.
So now we go to France, who has more cubes than they spent because they passed. Spain passed. So then it's back to us. Alright, what are we going to do? I think I did all that because I wanted to do another trade action. So let's do that. And let's hope we get the English channel this time. And we didn't. We got South America and North America, which we already used. So we can't do that again. So none of these work for us. So I'm going to gain just 2 ducats.
There's a red one.
So 1, 2. So it puts us up to 5. Not an exciting turn.
No,
Austria passed. Poland passed. Muscovy is going to try to pass. Oh crap, we were supposed to do our event. Oh no.
If you go in with basic,
I think I want to retcon this.
they'll one-shot you.
I think we're in a safe spot, so I'm going to let them go ahead and roll.
No,
That means,
that's really hard.
yeah, that means they would have chosen ours.
You have to not get hit.
Yeah, that was a stupid decision on my part. I'm going to lose another stability. Yeah, I got a retcon. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I know I'm retconning something I already know the outcome.
Ocean?
I totally understand.
It's broken when you move.
I'm just going to put those back on top. We would have chosen this, which is still the 2 ducats that we just
I
earned.
thought you used like a
And we're going to get our new general.
scroll.
So then this comes out.
Or something like that.
And I don't need to do anything with money because it's nothing but bots now. So we just know
It tells you when you
they're going to get a cube no matter who does an event. And
like go to the alchemist.
so, for example, Muscovy will get a cube for doing their event. But let's do ours first. Yeah, I know I just retconned. I apologize, but we've been talking about it, and I totally slipped my mind, and I even said, nope, I'm going to risk it, and that was a stupid move, too. So, here's adding 3, and then 3 rebels. All get added. So I do have an army. I will be able to do something. I have 5 ducats. I can exhaust 2 manpower, which means I'm doing this.
Yes.
So I only have 1 army to hire. Or add 1 in Wales and Wessex. So actually, I'm going to add 1 in Wales and Wessex.
Yes. No, sorry. In between characters.
Then I gain a military cube,
No, in
and 2 points and another military cube. So I get 2 military cubes and 2 points for that. I mean, that's easy points. And then my leader goes away.
I'm literally stocking up on all the felling axes I can possibly.
That goes away. This goes here. Hopefully we don't draw any more pluses. I need to check. Yep, no more pluses. Are getting sick. So I'm going to get to keep all my advisors one more round, which is excellent. I have 5 cards, which is excellent. That was the right move. Okay, so now I gave Muscovy their card. They're going to choose the Venice card.
This is a battle axe.
And they're going to choose B.
This axe
So
can attack super.
an unrest to Brescia, Verona, and all towns on Milanese cores. Place a rebel in Lombardy
They're literally the best weapon.
per unrest there. Oh gosh. Verona and all Milanese cores.
Well, yeah, I wasn't able to find them.
So Milanese cores are these 3.
Well, actually, I still have
This country here.
one that's dead.
So it's just
And then I'm gonna switch.
Brescia and then Verona. And then they're going to get 1 army. But see, Venice is there. So that's going to resolve in a battle right now.
Yeah, so like that road wouldn't kill
So
you.
Venice kills them off, no problem. Then they're going to choose B, to arms.
This invisibility code
Venice may do a land activation or recruit activation for free.
spells broken and removed.
What a weird one. What a cool thing, though, if you play as Venice.
You wanna go again?
And then look at this. Your leader is sick the moment you get him. That part hurts. Okay. They can do a land activation for free. I don't know what they would do. They're not at war or anything, so they would just stay there because they have unrest. So nothing really happens. It has an effect, so Muscovy does not get a cube. Yeah, it wasn't super exciting, but it's definitely something. Okay, next is Denmark, who
Alchemist. Yeah.
still has more cubes spent. So they're going to try to pass, and they do. Okay, next is the Mamluks, who will now do an event. Because they were supposed to siege, they're down to 1 cube. They're the only one left. So they will grab a cube, and then they're going to grab the leftmost one,
You attacked me like 4 times. And
which is this one. So this one will just have the bottom effects happen. There's, I think, see, these guys are pink, so this one actually has no effects. Or no, the native uprising is going to impact
But like,
here.
that means that you can like get up real close. I don't know.
Now, granted, that doesn't happen until the end of the round, but I'm going to do it now.
I like the combat rate.
This one, they will choose A.
Like,
You and another player of your choice must choose, and then here the ships are going to die.
Oh, okay.
So, for example,
That's fine.
this Austrian ship goes away. I think I lose this ship here because I don't have a port. So that hurts me. That hurts me bad. I needed to do an explore action. Spain loses a ship. Okay, that happens at the end. So they have to choose another player. 5 means they're going to choose whoever has the highest tax income. It's 11. That's 18. That's 19. 12. We're at 16. So far it's France. 13, 14, 15, 16. 12. 15, 19, it's Denmark. Oh, 20, the Mamluks. So it's the Mamluks doing this action though, right? So they're going to choose Denmark. You and another player of your choice must choose. We rule as we see fit. Gain a point and a cube of your choice, but lose a stability. So they'll both gain a cube. And a point. But they also both lose a stability. So lowest tax could be here, here, or there. This is an N. And there. Alright, that's done. That cost me 4 ducats, losing that ship. Okay, Ottomans passed. France has passed. No, the Ottomans have not passed. They're going to now, though. So one more passes and then we're done. We took our event. Castile passed. It's to us. We basically just have one more action before this is all done. I should have done something here. My one more action is I need to take out these rebels. However, I only have 2 units. That's a problem. So I'm going to recruit, and I'm going to recruit 2 units to get to 4. I don't want to go into debt anymore. I know there's one more left, but I'd have to go into debt to get them. So it's going to leave me with 3 units and the cavalry to take on 3 of them. But that's what I got to do. Okay, then Austria passed, Poland passed. Muscovy is now going... What the heck is that? That is not a cube. Muscovy is going to pass, which then triggers the end of the round. So everybody's got one more action left. I can tell you they're also going to pass, and so are they. So really we just get one more action. And that action is we will spend another military cube, which hopefully we're going to get back. I'm hoping we will. We're going to move into here, take on these 3 rebels. I am going to use my leader. So I get to roll 6 dice. I have 4 units. There's only 3 rebels. I just need 4 hits. And I only did 2. Oh my gosh. And then... Oh, this only happens if they roll it. Alright, so there is 3 rebels, so they get to draw a general, which they don't. So they're going to roll 3. They do 2 hits. What jerks. Alright, so I did take out 2 of them though. So I just need to take out 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, more than taken out now. They get 1, 2, 3. They do 1 more hit. I am going to try to save my cavalry because they're the most expensive. I do win by the skin of my chinny chin chin, but yay. Okay. We are at the end of the round. I already took care of this card. So all truces go away. I didn't bother putting them on the board. So thankfully that's done. NPR invasions. The only people at war were the Mamluks, and they damaged Iraq, even though they didn't damage them hard. So nothing happens. Rebels siege or move. I took care of my rebels. I think that covers everybody. Peace resolution. So the only piece I see that needs to be done is this one. So they now control the whole area. So they get to flip the unrest in the area, 2 of them. And so they're going to They score 1 point because of the tax base, and because they remove the claim, they score 2 more. So they're going to score 1, 2, 3 points for that. And I think that was the only war on the map for this round. Everybody was in a truce. Prestige penalties. Nobody has any towns occupied by others. There's no interregnum. Religious dissent is an issue for the Ottomans. There's Orthodox here. Diverse faiths there. Venice has the issue here. So they get one.
Hey, you don't want to do that.
Austria, France, Spain gets one.
Don't you aim your bow at me.
Poland gets one. Moscow's fine. They're fine. We're fine. France is fine. Okay. So after all of that, gain or remove unrest. Spain gets to remove one. And I keep forgetting about this, but France, for example, has one now. And Lithuania, or I'm sorry, the Mamluks have one now. So France should have a cube here. And the Mamluks should have one there as well. That means they get an extra cube, and they also do extra influence. So, probably my number one thing that I forget to do when I'm playing as the bots right now is I forget about checking the bottom of this board. Okay, but with that said, Spain gets to remove an unrest. Nobody else does because of their thing. Okay, now we're going to roll some rebel dice. So 1 for Castile. Nothing. France gets 1, 2, 3, 4. We could still get towns back if they rebel the right way. And they're just rolling so lucky. They just lose a cube.
Run, boy.
Ottomans. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Run.
Lose a cube, get one back. So these guys actually have 2. So they lose a cube. And they get unrest rebels on here. And yeah, they can move their army there to take it back just like anywhere else. The Ruskies, oh, they had a war. They still don't control the whole area, so the claim stays. But they gain 1 point for winning that war. And they have 1, 2, 3, 4 rebel dice. Gain 1 back, lose a cube. So the one they gain back is going to be in here. They'll take this one, and then the rebel's going to be here where their army is. So they do lose an army. Poland, 1, 2, 3. Get 1 back, rebel, lose a cube. They'll get this one back. And the rebel will be where their army is. They lose one. Austria. I forgot to do Venice. I skipped right over them. They have 1, 2, 3. I have one more for them too. So let's do, this is the Mamluks. And 3 for Venice. The Mamluks already lost their cube. Venice does get a rebellion, restore 1, and lose a cube. So the one they'll restore, this is the highest tax. The rebellion's going to be where their army is. They lose 1. I need to do Denmark. Denmark has 1, 2. There we go. Alright, they lose a cube and they get a rebellion. And this rebellion's interesting because what happens is this begins with an N, so Sweden, they lose the town. Sweden gets liberated. Austria has 1, 2. They lose a cube. Then we have to pray, because it's our turn. So we got 2 here. I don't know how to interpret this one. I'm going to re-roll it. Alright, so we got 2 rebels. And then in the spot that we're in, lose 2 cubes and a manpower. I can afford the manpower.
Why? Why?
I guess I'm going to lose this cube and this cube. Dang it. Alright, damage was done. I guess I get to keep my army.
We literally won. We literally killed 6
But it was costly. Okay, then we get to do our income. So for us, it's 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then that makes it 11. And then we get 16, so we're only going to gain 5 ducats. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're going to gain 1 whopping ducat. And then we also gain an extra unrest. So we got to roll 1 more. Now I lose 2 ducats. So I truly have no money at all. This is horrible. I do gain a colonist. Okay. Papal controller going to score 3. We're going to roll for the Emperor. They rolled a 2, which doesn't move them. The Papal controller is still Spain.
Am I in support? Okay. Because I literally can't see.
What else?
I got a key.
Nothing else here. Cleanup phase, our merchants get refreshed. The plague goes off the board. I never bothered putting it on.
No one loves.
I knew the merchant was used, so I didn't bother there. These are still my 2 quests. I gotta do my other income, which is 1, 2, 3. And then 1, 2, 3. And then 3, 4, 5. Maybe I should have spent a military cube, because now I have a ton of those. I've got 8 of them, in fact. So
I literally wasn't in the lobby.
I do have the ability to try to kick some butt here.
But
Alright, that brings us to the end of the round. Thanks for watching. As always, stay awesome. We're off to round 3,
yeah, got it.
which will be this set of cards here. We're going to shuffle, and we're going to draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Yeah, I had
9,
3 hooks.
10,
3 login.
and 11. Gonna shuffle, and then 1, 2, 3, and 4 come out. This is the second half, so everything's up for game again. And it looks like we got some... Whoops. Circles are going to get sick. We have 3 opponent ones that are coming out, which means we don't have any interest in any of these. I mean, you know, there's stuff here, but I don't think any of it matters to us. This disputed succession also doesn't matter to us, but the circles are going to get sick, which means we're going to lose. Nope, he's just going to get sick. So we're doing okay. At some point, I know I'm going to lose these guys, but yeah. Anyways, now I'm going to say it. Thanks for watching. Stay awesome, and we'll see you in round 3.